सारे वाइफाई को मान्छे आएन फेरि भोलि जानुपर्छ आउँछु भने त आउनुपर्छ नि नेपालको सिस्टमै काम छैन भात के गर्नु लुलु खाम थोरै खाम भनेको खाम भनेको के अघि कति 3-4 बजे त खाजा खाएको खासै भोक त लागेको छैन मलाई पूजा ओ पूजा नानी खाना आउनु हौ
ओ नानी आउनु
Hello guys, what's up guys, what's up? Coffee. उयो गर न हौ के रे तिम्रोमा उयो गर त
के गर ल्यापटपमा लाउन आफै गर्नु त
Oh my god, who's this guy? Opi bhai sahab.
एउटा अफिसको लागि सकियो त उसमा त्यो काम सक्यो सबै उस गरेर हालेर सक्यो
के हालेर सक्यो
के अरे बेन्च के अरे आज सामानहरू सबै उठाएर
3 चोटि भने ओहोर गर्नु पर्यो 3 चोटि हो भनेको ह्याप्पी स्याटरडे हाम्रो अनुसार नानी आइपुग्यो फेरि यहाँनिर ह्याप्पी स्याटरडे के छ बहिनी हालखबर के छ बहिनी हालखबर के हो यो त रगतै रगत देख्छु त म सफा गरेको होइन त यो
मम्मीले छानेर उस गरेर सफा गरेर गर्नु
अनेक गर्दा उनी रगतै रगत पो रहेछ धेरै यार ठिक छ दाइ अरे खाना खायो What about you guys अरे के हो आम्मामा कथरीको तरकारी हो फेरि एकदम ठिक छ बहिनी एकदम भाउजू इज हियर
भाउजू त अहिले भात नखाने
अझै तपाईँ ताल पऱ्यो भने बिहान बेलुका दिउँसै खानु
भात नखाए नखाऊ भन्नुपर्छ
भाउजू इज बिन्दास लाइक गर लाइक गर लाइक खाना पाक्दैछ हजुरहरूले खानुभयो म भर्खरै घर आएको कि खानु आँटेको अब लाइक होइन हट अरे तलपट्टि त्यो अलिकति तल स्वाइप गरेर त्यो लाइक गर्ने ठाउँमा लाइक गर्नु पर्यो के त त्यो उयो हट मात्रै दिएर हुँदैन नि चम्चा नदिने मम्मी अचार देऊ न अनि अचार देऊ चम्चा देऊ ल इन्जोय ओके छ त बहिनी ए लु उयो पनि चाहिन्छ हौ चार्ज गरेन भने फेरि बर्बाद हुन्छ मेरो मोबाइल त एकछिन स्विच अफ कत्रो भात हालेको यो मम्मीले यार कता छ के कुरा कता छ अलिकति तलपट्टि हेर नि त्यहाँनिर त्यो मेरो ब्यागको यतापट्टि उयो छ क्या निकाल त चार्जर यताउता टक्कन टुकुन हो त्यहाँनिर हो चार्जर चाहिँ उयो यतापट्टि पछाडि अगाडिपट्टि यहाँ आइसक्यो पूजा कति हो चम्चा नि भयो अब लाइक यस लाइक थ्याङ्क यू सो मच ल्यापटपमा सुत्दाखेरि दाइको लाइभहरू ट्यागको प्ले गर्दै राखेर ट्यागको भुस भुस सब पज गरेर सिउ तुमरो नागरी त त्यहाँ छ उयो पनि छ अनि त्यहाँ उयो छ के अरे हेर त यताबाट त्यहाँ होइन कि यता यता ए यता यहाँ यो खोला न
मेरो पैसा त यहाँ रहेछ नि
तिम्रो पैसा हो त्यो उयो त्यो होइन क्या
मेरो नागरिकता पनि
छैन तिम्रो नागरिकता त किन बोक्छ त नि 5 million people in my house
पेन्सिल सार्न त यहाँ रहेछ नि कति धेरै
अस्ति नै उयो गर्दा किनेको
यो नागरिकतामा गएको थिएँ
राखिदेऊ चाहिन्छ कता कता माग्छ कि ब्याङ्कतिर अनि त्यो बोकेर हिँड्यो क्या होइन अहिले त भित्रै राख चाहिएको बेलामा लिउँला नि थ्याङ्क यू बहिनी थ्याङ्क यू सी यू टुमोरो एक्कासी 5 के अरे मम्मी तिनीहरू चाहिँ नखाने होइन नखाए नखाओस् अरे ल है गाइज म एकछिन अब माम गर्नतिर लागेँ है जोसुकै भए पनि जेसुकै भए पनि पहिला खाना खान्छु अनि मात्र पढ्छु म धेरै हो यो रगत आमा यो म खाइसक्दैन है मलाई चाहिँ यो रक्ती मलाई खासै मन पनि पर्दैन कि यो रक्ती जति चाहिँ भोलि पूजाले खान्छ हो त अनि रक्ती त मलाई मन पर्दैन तिमीलाई पनि थाहा हुनुपर्ने हो त कि दादा भयो नमस्कार दाइ भयो अहिले नखाएको मलाई भोज भइरहेको छ आजभोलि बोलो बाई बाई
नखाने 가져도기 좋아. 부담 안 오자. 요?
막
잠깐 부담이 더 오게. 잘해 하자. 그래 저 따뜻해 되나?
나
मान्छेहरू धेरै देखेँ किनेको नि नकिनेको नि के भएर के हो खिट 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 हाँस्यो यस्तो अरे बोलो न के काम छ भोलिबाट चाहिँ बुढीको स्कुल होला होइन ए बुढीको त बिदा हो
भोलि सार्वजनिक बिदा
भोलि के चाहिँ बिदा हो सार्वजनिक
खोइ के छ
हाम्रो अफिस त बिदै भएर जानु पर्छ बिदा छ भोलि त आइतबार हो नि त पर्सि के जानु पर्छ बिदा
खोइ के भन्छ अब यो उयोले बिदा बिदा धेर दिँदाखेरि बिग्रिँदो रहेछ क्या कति 2जना 3जना मान्छे इन्टरभ्यूको लागि आउँदै आएन भने हेलो 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 ब्रदर हेलो के छ त अनि मेरो भान्जाले एड गर्यो हो र यार तेरी हाँ मैले अस्ति भनेर राखेको पठाइदिएको छु उयो स्क्रिनशट भनेपछि गरेन अनि खाना खानु भयो किन ढिला ए 8 बजे मात्रै हो बेलुका खाना जति छिटो खाए त्यति हेल्दी हो के साह्रो पिरो भएको हो यो अनि स्कुल छुट्टी भयो भनेपछि त रमाइलो रहेछ आजकल त होइन दिनभरि गेम हान्दै बस्दै हो यस्तो भाइसँग खेल्नलाई भए पनि पब्जी चाहिँ खेल्ने भए भए चाहिँ मेरो पुरानो साथीहरूसँग चिन्जान गराइदिन्थ्यो मैले फेरि तिनीहरूले फ्री फायर खेल्दैन आज चाहिँ म अलि लामो लाइभ बस्ने हो तिनीहरूले फ्री फायर खेल्न आउँदैन तिनीहरू पनि खेल्दैन फ्री फायर खेल्ने साथीहरूको खाँचो छैन होला त नि अनि टुबी गेमरहरूसँग खेल्नु नि अनि तिनीहरू जस्तो पैसा टन्न कमाउने हुनुपर्छ फ्री फायर स्ट्रिम गर्दै लाइभ बस्दै गर्ने क्या उयसमा युट्युबमा सुरुमा आउँदैन बिस्तारै आउँछ कि बिस्तारै एभ्री डे सेम टाइममा गऱ्यो भने आउँछ मेरो त टाइमै मिल्दैन के गर्नु एभ्री डे सेम टाइममा गर्न थाल्यो भने बिस्तारै अनि आफू पनि अर्काको यसरी लाइभतिर डुल्दै हिँड्ने अनि उयो बनाउने एकअर्कालाई सब्सक्राइब गर्न लाउने अनि त्यस पछाडि अनि सुरु गर्यो भने आउँछ मजाले अनुहार नदेखाउने अहिले त युट्युबमा लाइभ बस्न दिँदैन होला नि त भर्खर 9 भनेपछि त उयो पुगेको छैन एज पुगेको छैन सो अलिकति थोरै टाइमपछि ओके फेरि भेटौँला यहाँ बसेर लाग्यो के गरेको है अनुहार चाहिँ किदरका कफी कहाँ हेरेको तिमीले एकछिनको कफी हो र बस त्यतै आएर बस्नुपर्छ कि के हो है तिमीले त बस नि त आफ्नो बस नि के नारायणी सामुदायिक किन नारायणी सामुदायिक गाइनको लागि के को गाइनो हो र फेरि किन चाहियो त गाइनो अनि किन चित्त नबुझ्यो त के कुराले चाहिँ चित्त बुझेन तिमीलाई के कुराले चाहिँ चित्त बुझेन तिमीलाई ल भन
चेक गर्ने डक्टर यो लोक बाजु सेडा गर्ने और यो यस्तो खतरा खतरा डक्टर छ त्यहाँ गाइनको लागि
तिमीलाई चाहिँ के कुराले चाहिँ गर्नु पर्यो त
होर यससँग भेट्न पर्ला
बेटा उयो पनि लगेर जाऊ न त्यसो भए
रिपोर्टहरू लिएर जानु पर्ला अनि एकचोटि देखाउने के अनि देखाएपछि ढुक्क हुन्छ नि मलाई यताहरूको डक्टरहरूको एउटा पनि विश्वास लाग्दैन हौ साँच्चै भनेको के हुन त मान्छेले उता कता कता छोडेर काठमाडौँ भन्छ काठमाडौँ आउँछन् है अनि मलाई लाग्छ काठमाडौँ त्यस्तो हस्पिटल कहाँ छ जस्तो लाग्छ कि
कहीँ नसकेपछि मान्छे आउने काठमाडौँ
होइन उता पनि आउँछन् भाइ काठमाडौँबाट
क्यान्सरको लागि चाहिँ चितवन मेडिकल कलेजसम्म चाहिँ जान्छ तिम्रो भूत जस्तो अनुहार यहाँ देखियो कि अरे उता बस्छ भनेको मान्दैन अनि
होइन उसमा पनि आउँछन् कि त्यो उसहरूलाई भेट्न के यो नारायण सामुदायिक प्राइभेटमा पनि जान्छन् कि मैले कति देखेको छु
काठमाडौँबाट गएकोहरू
काठमाडौँबाट बुटोलबाट कता कता पश्चिमहरूबाट आएको नि देख्छु त्यहाँ चाहिँ उसहरू के अरे उसको लागि राम्रो छ भन्छ कि त्यही गाइने उसको के स्त्री रोग
आज चाहिँ अलि धेरै बस्नु पर्यो
कति बस्ने त्यतिकै छोडेर रातभरि छोडेर सुत्दिनु न हातमा पनि मोबाइल चल्नु भने रातभरिमा त मस्तै होला है
रातभरि यत्तिकै अँध्यारो बनाएर राख्ने अँध्यारो बनाएर त के काम त नि अनि
नाइट स्टेरिङ
बेबी
अनि त्यस्तै गर्नु त
के गरे त्यस्तै ए बस चिसो लाग्यो मान्छेलाई द पोजिटिभिटी paradox is what is the paradox
प्याराडक्सहरू त सुनिरहेको होइन र
सुनिराखेको एक्ज्याक्ट वाट इज द मिनिङ अफ प्याराडक्स
उसो नाम
PARADOX yes it is PARADOX
विरोधाभास विरोधाभास
के हो त्यो भने चाहिँ
स्वयं विरोधी कथन विचित्र अचम्मको कुरा यो लेख्ने
पोजिटिभिटी प्याराडक्स अरे के
पोजिटिभिटी हुँदै पोजिटिभिटी होला नि
होला होला पोजिटिभिटी PARADOX
के अरे
सकारात्मक के हो यो विरोधाभास अरे पोजिटिभ उयो विरोध अरे क्या
विचित्र अचम्मको कुरा अरे के
suppose that following
भाषा पनि ल्याउन है
बस suppose that following an extensive physical checkup, your doctor returned to the examination room conveying undeniable news of a medical condition that will impair your health in multiple ways. It's relentless. किनभने
सोधेको मैले त उसले सिटमा म्यामलाई देखेको थिएँ त्यहाँ
आज तिमी गएको थियौ र
लाइनमा थियो कि त्यो लिसा
ए उता गएको रहेछ
सौरा
ए के अरे रोजिना म्याम चाहिँ उता सिन्धुली जानुभएको रहेछ
मैले रोजिना म्यामले आउनु भएको छ भने सोधेको तर कसैले रिप्लाई गर्नु त्यहाँ
ए
लागेरै बस्यो त्यहाँ झ्यापमा नाचिरहेको थियो मान्छेहरू
झ्याप हुँदा मात्रै नाच्छ नि
कसै खाएको भन्ने चाहिँ खा छैन भनिरहेको थियो
हो नि condition that will impair your health in multiple ways. Its relentless advance will erode your ability to see. Erode भनेको के रहेछ ERODE error हैन के ODE ERODE
इरोडै अरे गर्नु अरे wearing away or diminishing something slowly कट्नु धुजा
क्षय हुनु अरे क्षय हुनु
धुजा पार्नु अरे
क्षति हुनु के erode your ability to see, hear and think clearly. Your enjoyment of food will be undercut by the combination of a dulled sense of taste and a compromised digestive system that will limit your dietary choices to mostly bland options. You will lose access to many of your favorite activities as the condition saps your energy and strength, eventually making you unable to drive or even to walk on your own. You will become increasingly vulnerable to an array of other afflictions such as coronary heart disease, stroke, atherosclerosis, pneumonia, arthritis, and diabetes. You don't have to be a health professional to identify this progressive medical condition. It's the process of growing old. कति दिन भएछ मेरो आँखा उयो फरफर होला जस्तो अलिअलि भइरहेछ
पानी खानु के थियो
द अनडिजायरेबल कहाँ छ खै पानी
ल्यापटप पछाडि
हो र
मैले घाममा तता राखेको पानी हो
ओके छ त त्यसो भए त
मान्छे
द अघिदेखि कुक्क पो लागिरहेको रहेछ त होइन हिक्कप पो आइरहेको रहेछ यो मान्छेले कस्तो कस्तो भाषा ल्याउँछ फेरि
मैले कस्तो भाषा बोलेँ
कुक्क अरे क्युट छ तर क्युट सुनिन्छ तिम्रो भाषा बाडुल के लगेको You don't have to be a health professional to identify this progressive medical condition. It's the process of growing old. The undesirable outcomes of aging vary from person to person, but on average, elderly individuals experience significant losses in both physical and mental functioning, yet they don't let the declines undermine their happiness. In fact, and here's the paradox, old age produces the opposite result. The elderly feel happier than they did when younger, stronger and healthier. The question of why this paradox exists has intrigued camps of lifespan researchers for decades. After considering several possibilities, one set of investigators, led by the psychologist Laura Carstensen, hit upon a surprising answer when it comes to dealing with all the negativity in their lives. Seniors have decided that they just don't have time for it. Literally, they have come to desire a time of emotional contentment for their remaining years, and they take deliberate steps to achieve it, something they accomplish by mastering the geography of self-influence. The elderly go more frequently and fully to the locations inside and outside themselves, populated by mood lifting personal experiences to a greater extent than younger individuals. Okay, seniors recall positive memories, entertain pleasant thoughts, seek out and retain favorable information, search for the gaze at happy faces, and focus on the upsides of their consumer products. Notice that they route their travels to these sunny locales through a highly effective mental maneuver we have encountered before. They focus their attentions to those spots. Indeed, the seniors with the best attention management skills, those good at orienting to and staying fixed on positive material, so the greatest mood enhancement. Those with poor such skills, however, can't use strong attentional control to extricate one on this car. Extricate. CATE. EXTRICATE. ATE. निकाल्नु extricate themselves from their tribulation अरे tribulation भनेको चाहिँ के रहेछ फेरि TRIBULATION हुनुहुन्छ त त्यहाँ आउनुहुन्छ त त्यहाँ तिमीले चाहिँ नबोलेको नि पहिला त एकदम एगेन्स्टमा हुनुहुन्थ्यो अरे अहिले अब विदेशमा हुनुहुन्छ क्या भन्नु सोचेको थिएँ अहिले यत्रो इन्कम देखेपछि त होइन त्यो पनि जस्ट डुलेको भरमा यत्रो इन्कम देखेपछि त नि उहाँ पनि आफै गर्न थाल्नु भएको रहेछ नि त अहिले त आउनु भएको छ अरे आउनुहुन्छ त को हो र त्यहाँ आउँदाखेरि देखाइदिन्छु म तिमीलाई Tribulation. Tribulation. Yes. Tribulations.
कलेश
कलेज
आदि कलेश भनेपछि त कलेश त सङ्कट कष्ट दुःख पीडा
कलेज भनेको झगडा जस्तो टाइपको हो दुःख पीडा कष्ट they are the ones who experience mood degeneration as they age. I would bet that they are also the ones who account for the misguided stereotype of the elderly as irascible irascible अरे irascible भनेको के रहेछ irascible IRA SCI IPLE irascible
छिटो क्रोधित हुने झै झगडा गर्ने रिसाह क्रोधी
irascible instead of the elderly as irascible बुढाबुढीहरू अलिक छिटो झर्किन्छ नि त होइन and so because
बुढाबुढी मात्रै जो पनि लाग्यो
the grumpy are just grumpy GRUMPI grumpy
रिसाह क्रोधी मलाई पनि आज यस्तो उसको थियो
आज किन GRUMPY MPY
ग्रम्पी भनेको रिसाएको अरे
are just more
चिडचिडा
conspicuous pisuous अरे picuous conspicuous के हो then the contended I once asked
सिम्पल ओडाइ भन्दा कसले पर्छ
त्यही त भने पढ्थ्यो नि सजिलो हुन्थ्यो नि त I once asked Professor Carstensen how she first got the idea that many elderly have decided to make the most of their remaining days by concentrating on the positive over the negative. She reported having interviewed a pair of sisters living in a senior home and asking them how they dealt with various negative events. For example, the sickness and death they witnessed regularly all around them. They replied in unison, "Oh, we don't have time for worrying about that." She recalled being puzzled by the answer because, as retirees with no jobs, housekeeping tasks, or family responsibilities, they had nothing but time in their days. Then, with an insight that launched her influential thinking on the topic of lifespan motivation. Carstensen recognized that the time the sisters referred to wasn't the amount available to them in any one day, but in the rest of their lives. From the perspective, allocating much of their remaining time to unpleasant events didn't make sense to the ladies. What about the rest of us? Though, must we wait for advanced age to bring about a happy outlook on life? According to research in the field of positive China minute psychology, no, but we don't have to alter our tactics to be more like seniors. Luckily for us, someone has already prepared a list of ways to go about it persuasively. Dr. Sonja Lyubomirsky is not the first researcher to study happiness, yet, in my view, she has made noteworthy contributions to the subject by choosing to investigate a key question more systematically than anyone else. It's not the conceptual one you might think. What are the factors associated with happiness? Instead, it's a procedural one. Which specific activities can we perform to increase our happiness as a child? Lubomirsky came to the United States as part of family of Russian immigrants who in the midst of meager economic circumstances, had to deal with the relentless additional problems of fitting into an unfamiliar and sometimes challenging culture. At the same time, this new life brought many favorable and gratifying features. Look back on those days. She wondered what actions family members could have taken to disempower the dispiriting emotions in favor of the uplifting ones. It wasn't all bleak, she wrote in her 2013 book, The Myths of Happiness. But if I knew then what I know now, my family would have been better positioned to make the best of it. That statement made me curious to know what she does know now on the matter. I phoned and asked what she could say with scientific confidence about the steps people can take to make their lives better emotionally. Her answer offered good news and bad news to anyone interested in securing a gladness upgrade. On the one hand, she specified a set of manageable activities that reliably increase personal happiness. Several of them, including the top three on her list, require nothing more than a persuasive refocusing of attention. Counter blessings and gratitudes at the start of every day, and then give yourself concentrated time with by them by writing them down. Cultivate optimism by choosing beforehand to look on the bright side of situations, events, and future possibilities. Negate and negative by deliberately limiting time spent dwelling dwelling on problems or on unhealthy comparisons with others. There's even an iPhone app called Live Happy that helps users engage in certain of these activities, and their greater happiness correlates with frequent use. On the other hand, the process requires consistent work. You can make yourself happier just like you can make yourself lose weight. Dr. Liumbo Mirsky assured me, but like eating differently and going to the gym faithfully, you have to put in the effort every day. You have to stay with it. That last comment seemed instructive about how the elderly have found happiness. They don't treat the most hospitable places of their inner geographies the way visitors or sightseers would. Instead, they have elected to stay in those vicinities. Mentally, they have relocated to them psychologically for the same reason they might move physically to Florida or Arizona. For the warming climates they encounter every morning. When asked Dr. Luvo Mirsky why, before attaining senior status, most people have to work so hard at becoming happier. She said her team hadn't uncovered that answer yet, but I think it might be revealed already in the research of Professor Carstensen, who you will recall found that the elderly have decided to prioritize emotional contentment as a main life goal and therefore to turn their attention systematically toward the positive. She also found that younger individuals have different primary life goals that include learning, developing, and striving for achievement. Accomplishing those objectives requires a special openness to discomforting elements, demanding tasks, contrary points of view, unfamiliar people, and annoying mistakes of failures. Any other approach would be malad- maladaptive. Okay, it makes sense then that in all early and middle age, it can be so hard to turn our minds away from tribulations to serve our principal aims. At those times, we need to be receptive to the real presence of negatives in order to learn from and deal with them. The problem arises when we allow ourselves to become mired in the emotions they generate. When we let them lock us into an ever cycling loop of negativity, there's where Dr. Livermore's key activities list can be so helpful. Even if we are not ready to take up full time residence in our most balmy psychological sites, we can use those attention shifting activities to visit regularly and break the siege of winter. The field of happiness studies has shown us that relatively simple attention based tactics can help manage our emotional states. Can we use similar methods to manage other desirable states, such as those involving personal achievement and professional success? When I first went to graduate school, I was among an incoming class of 6 students who had been recruited as part of an established social psychology doctoral program. A sweet guy named Alan Chaikin inspired early in the rest of us because word had spread of his remarkable achievement on the graduate record examination GRE. The sized the standardized test all students have to take before applying to most graduate programs. He scored in the top 1% of all test takers around the world in each of the three sections of the exam: verbal aptitude, mathematical proficiency, and analytical reasoning. Moreover, he scored in the top 1% of all psychology students in knowledge of that subject. Some of us had hit such scores on one or two of the sections, but rarely three and never all four. So we were ready to be consistently surprised by the level of range of Alan's intellect. And indeed we were, although not in the manner we would expected. Alan was a smart man, but it became apparent after a while that he wasn't any smarter than the rest of us in a general sense. He wasn't any better at generating good ideas or spotting flawed arguments or making perceptive comments of offering clarifying insights. What he was better at was taking standardized tests, in particular the graduate record exam. I shared an office with him during our first year and grew close enough to him to ask how he had done so stunningly well compared with the rest of our class. He laughed, but when I assured him it was a serious question, he told me without hesitation that he thought his relative success had to do with two main differentiators. First, he was a speed reader. He had taken a course that the year before that taught him how to move rapidly through written material without missing its important features. That gave him a sizable advantage on the Greek because at the time it was scored in terms of the raw numbers of number of items a student answered correctly. Alan realized that by harnessing his speed reading skills, he could zip through all of the large set of items in any given section of the test and on a first pass immediately answer each whose solution was simple or already known to him. After peeling up every easy points this way, he could then go back and address the tougher items. All the students would almost always advance from one item to the next, worked down in the difficult ones, likely to carry the twin penalties of producing incorrect answers and preventing contact with easier questions they would then never reach before time ran out. Most standardized tests, including the GRE, have since been redesigned in ways that no longer allow a lens speed reading technique to provide a competitive edge. Hence, it won't benefit current test takers, right? But that's not the case for his other persuasive tactic. Alan told me that just prior to taking any serialized exam, he will spend systematic time getting sight straight up for it. He described a set
यो
of
एकचोटि
activities.
समात्नु त एउटा 3जना छ मान्छे त को 3जना आफ्नै हो
अघिसम्म 4जना थियो क्या अरे अहिले 3जना स्पिड रिडिङ स्किल्स ही गिभन सेक्सन्स अफ टेस्ट पास इमिडिएटली एन्सर इच कहाँ पुगेँ म easy points in way he could then go back and address the tougher items. Other students would almost always advance from one item to the next, was down in the difficult ones, likely to carry the twin penalties of producing incorrect answers and preventing contact with easier questions. They would then never reach before time ran out. Most standardized tests, including GRE, have since been redesigned in ways that no longer allow Alan's speed reading technique to provide a competitive edge. Hence, it won't benefit current test takers. But that's not the case for his other persuasive tactic. Alan told me that just prior to taking any standardized exam, he would spend systematic time getting sighted up for it. He described a set of activities that could have come from modified version of Dr. Liuvomirski's list. He didn't take up the minutes before the exam room doors opened, as I always had notes in hand, trying to cram every piece of information I was unsteady about into my brain. He said that focusing on material that was still vexing him would only alleviate these anxieties. Instead, he spent that crucial time consciously claiming his fears and simultaneously building his confidence by reviewing his past academic success and enumerating enumerating भनेको के हो enumerating भनेको के हो ENU के एन होइन ENUMERATING सायद बढाउनु होला त्यसलाई अझै बलियो बनाउनु होला जस्तो लाग्छ काउन्टिङ genuine strengths. Much of his test taking power prowess भनेको चाहिँ के हो prowess PROWESS PROWESS.
के हो त्यो नेपाल गणना गर्नुहरूको नेपालमा के थियो?
काउन्ट गर्नु, गणना गर्नु।
अर्को के थियो अरे?
प्रिवेस,
हँ?
प्रिवेस,
PRE
PROWESS, प्रोवेस,
पराक्रम।
prowess, parakram, test taking prowess. He was convinced, stemmed from the resultant combination of demonized भनेको के हो? demonized, DIMI
डिमिनेस भनेको उसो डिसमिस
हो र? combination
नाइ उसो के नगर्नु जस्तै
diminished, DIMI
ENISHD हैन घटे के डिक्रिज हो त्यो
decrease हो न? ए diminished fear, त्यो पनि लेखिराख्नु, diminished fear and bolstered confidence. bolstered भनेको चाहिँ के हो फेरि? What the heck, man? BOLSTERED.
कहाँ पढ्नु न?
Yeah.
BOL
अनि ST ERED. Yes. बलियो कन्फिडेन्सलाई बलियो बनाउँछ अरे, स्ट्रङ भने त भइहाल्थ्यो त नि। के खालको वर्ड चाहिँ युज गरेको होला हौ? बेला त दिक्क लाएर आउँछ सुन्दा। त्यही त भने You can't think straight when you are scared. He reminded me. Plus, अब यहाँसम्म तलसम्म क्या यो उयो त सिद्ध्याउनु पर्यो नि त। कहाँ पुर्यायो मान्छेले यार। Diminished fear and bolstered confidence. You can't think straight when you are scared. अरे क्या जब तिमी डराउँछौ त्यतिखेर चाहिँ के त स्ट्रेट सोच्नै सक्दैनौ अरे। He reminded me. उसले याद दिलायो कि प्लस you are much more persistent when you are confident in your abilities. Persistent भन नि त्यसका। Persistent. PER SISTENT.
PER अनि
PER SISTENT. निरन्तर persistent. You are much more persistent when you are confident in your abilities अरे क्या जब आफ्नो एबिलिटीमा हुन्छ नि हैन कन्फिडेन्ट हुन्छ त्यतिखेर चाहिँ हामी निरन्तर हुन सक्छौँ अरे क्या है त। सो I was struck that he could create an ideal state of mind for himself. Struck अरे struck STRUCK.
उसो त्यो भनेको जसलाई है मलाई चाहिँ मैले सोचेको कि STRU
CK
अड्किएको अरे फसेको
उसको सोचसँग अड्किनु that he could create an ideal state of mind for himself, not just because he understood where precisely to focus his attention, but also because as a savvy moment maker he understood how to do it persuasively immediately before the test. So Alan was smarter than the rest of us in a meaningful way. His was a particular type of smart, a kind of tactical intelligence that allowed him to turn common general knowledge, for example, that fear worsens test takers' performance, but earned confidence improves it, into specific applications with desirable outcomes. That's a useful sort of intelligence. Let's follow Alan's lead and see how we can do the same, this time to move others rather than ourselves toward desired outcomes. Okay, for today this much.
लन्ड्री त राख्नु।
तर यहाँनिर भर्खर एक घन्टा बारिसक्यो आज धेरै बस्छु भनेको खासमा
भात खाएर त्यत्रो पढेर पनि
सुरुमा उयो नै गरेन भर्खर 1 घन्टा त हुँदैछ यहाँ अनि अरू बेलामा भ्याउँदैन जिमबाट आउँदा आउँदै रात पर्छ हेर माइ गॉड ल ठिकै छ 1 घन्टा भन्नु पर्दैन होला हैन